folks, welcome to this week's Sunday Catechism. I'm putting out the Sunday Catechism a bit earlier, up on a Sunday morning here in Australia, which would mean a Saturday evening in the UK, Saturday afternoon or early evening in the US, or wherever you are in the world. I'm doing that because I used to record this on a Sunday afternoon, but it was in between sermons and we have a 5 o'clock service and it was getting a bit tight. So we are on to question 84. What does every sin deserve? Every sin deserves God's wrath and curse, both in this life and in the life to come. Every sin deserves God's wrath and curse, both in this life and in the life to come. Now, later on, we're going to look at the question of questions 85 onwards of how we can be saved. But before we look at how we can be saved, the Catechism's got it right, surely, because what are we to be saved from? And I want to ask you a very simple question. When did you last hear a sermon on the wrath of God? People who use prayer books will hear it used in a prayer book. Sometimes people will read it. But as an emphasis in a sermon, when did you last hear that? Now, it may be that you're in the kind of church where you hear about it every Sunday and you're fed up hearing about it, and they've got the balance wrong. But I suspect most of us are in churches where we just skip it by and avoid it, which is a real shame. I like what I've got up here, Thomas Watson's, "What then is God's wrath? When God musters up all his forces and sets himself in battle against a sinner, how can his heart endure? Will your courage endure or your hands be strong? In the day I deal with you," Ezekiel 22:14. "Who is able to lie under mountains of wrath? God is the sweetest friend, but the most dreadful enemy." That's a very, very, very powerful statement. The sweetest friend, but the most dreadful enemy. And the scripture proofs given are Ephesians 5:6. "Don't be deceived with vain words. Because of these, the wrath of God is coming upon the children of disobedience," which is all of us. Galatians 3:10, where those who are under the works of the law are under a curse. "For it is written, cursed is everyone that doesn't continue to do all the things that are written in the book of the law." Lamentations 3:39, "Why does a living man complain when punished for his sins?" Or Matthew 25:41, "Then shall he say to them on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." That's Jesus speaking about the ultimate wrath of God. It's a very solemn thing. It's a very hard thing. It's a very difficult thing at one level. But it's also a very wonderful thing because God cares about his creation. He cares about his world. And also, a God without wrath would be a God ultimately without love, I think. So I think this is a really important teaching. I think we need to emphasize it. I think we need to get it in balance with the whole of Scripture. But God's wrath is an important part of the gospel. And if you are a Christian, thank the Lord that he has turned aside his wrath from you because it was poured out on Jesus. And if you're not a believer, as we said earlier, you don't want to be an enemy of God. Far better to be a friend. God bless you and see you next week. Bye.